This is my pellet stove, and this is the model of this. Here is the controller screen. From these buttons we can set our temperature of our room, and from these buttons we can set the temperature of the water. The highest level is 5 and the lowest is 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The problem of this stove is that in the highest level of temperature water, in the level of 5, the pellet stove works well. But if I set a lower temperature water from 4 and lower, there is a problem that we will see later more analytically. So I turn on my pellet stove from this button. I have set the temperature room in 25 degrees, and now the procedure starts. You can see the first part. The pellet stove just have started. We're waiting to start loading pellets. We can see that the space which we are loading pellets is almost full. And now there's the second part, the part that the stove loading pellets. You can see here this procedure, and at this moment all things go well. There's no problem, and we have to wait after the loading of pellets to start the fire. As I mentioned before, I have set the temperature of the water in 4. I have to mention again that the lowest is 1 and the highest is 5. We're waiting to start firing. We're always to the second part, the part of loading pellets. Until this moment there is no problem. The pellet stove starts smoking, and now we can see the first flame. The problem that will happen is that after some minutes and after some parts, when we will be to the final part, the part of working, we will see that the pellet stove suddenly stops loading pellets and stops the airflow inside the pellet stove. And after this, the flame of this pellet stove is being lower and lower, and after some seconds or 1 minute or something more, the pellet stove will suddenly will be closed. But before this moment, we will see in this screen, in the controller screen, some messages, some alarm messages that they say that there are some problems in the total procedure. So we have to wait. We have to wait some minutes to see what exactly happens. Where in the second part, we are always to the second part. Until this moment, the pellet stove is loading pellets, and we have to wait. You can see that there's no problem in the airflow inside the pellet stove, and there's no problem in the loading of pellets until this moment. This is the third part. It's called flame light, and we have to wait until the final part, the part work, and the part of the problems. We can see there is much airflow inside the pellet stove. The pellets until this moment are loading. There's no problem. All things go well. We can see that there's no loading of pellets and there's no airflow inside the pellet stove. We're in the final part. The flaming is being lower and lower, and we're waiting to see the alarm messages. Here's the one, the alarm attivo, and here is the second one, the failure to press. There's no flame inside the pellet stove. And at this moment the procedure of turning off the pellet stove have just started.